There we go. Now we have chat. Sweet, it works. Okay. Okay. I'll do that later. Alright. Okay, now that I got all the technical stuff out of the way, I can start on this project. I am currently remodeling this guy because I want it to look like this with this arched stove where you can bake. This is kind of like a level 3 crafting station. Whereas the level 1, I think I'm gonna make it a little smaller, maybe push this back, but I want to do this level 3 first. I'm probably going to duplicate this first and get it out of the way. Bring it over here, and then I'll probably hide it, which is just a H key to hide. But this one here, I want to move it over so I can cut it and kind of get the shape of this out of this, and I'll retexture those corner. What I'm probably can do is just remove the texture for now completely. So we'll take all these and just unbind them from the texture. Even the fire can go for now. So their materials are still assigned. They're just missing their material right now. So even if I might go through and just reassign, because the way this is laid out is nothing like that. So I'll probably even clear all these seams here. When you go to edge mode, you can clear the seams here. So I'll probably clear all the seams too. Just just unwrap it. So I'm going to remove all these other. Oh, go back and remove all these. Just delete them. Just have the main one. And we can put a new material on the main thing, and we'll just bring it a little down so it's a little darker. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to just delete this corner. So like all these can go, because I want to make it look like that picture there. I'm just going to take all these to here, take all this out. So make sure we're removing all these. This one, this, and this. No, actually, I need to keep that. Shoot, what am I doing? I'll keep the diamond, but I'm going to delete the rest. So we'll delete the faces there. So now we've kind of cut out that piece. And I don't want this bunch of a ledge, so we'll loop cut that. Bring it down to about there. And we'll delete all these faces too. So delete this. And we're going to keep this and we'll bring it back just a little bit to there for now. Because I'm going to keep that shape for the where you load the, where it'll just have like the fire in there. So I might have took that too far. We'll just bring it to there. You know, we can just get it out of the way for now. Bring it back there. Okay. So now what we want to do is get this archway on the top. So we probably don't need this up here either. We can remove these faces. So now we kind of have the shape that we want. So even this one here. Let's take this guy. No, I'm going to go to edge select. And we're going to use the dissolve edges so it'll get rid of that line. Same with this one. We'll just dissolve edges. So now we've got something clean to work with. Same with this one. We can probably delete this one too. So looking at just the geometry of that, this square will be fine there. We can probably move this over and make it a little smaller. Maybe. Or just leave it like that where it's even, or it's actually half. I think I'll leave it half. As we still need to bring this cooking area, and the exhaust pipe over. So that'll be, yeah, I think we'll leave it like that because that's going to fit perfect. And plus we have room for our, yeah, that should fit on there perfect too. So we'll leave that over there. And here's the cover for that. I have it already. I'll just leave it over here. Same with this. I'll probably take that and move it over there with it. So we'll just bring it back and bring it over here because that's kind of where it's going to stay. I'll leave it with that for now. We'll drag it back over here in a sec. So let's take out some more of these so we can make this perfectly square. I'm going to take out this one here since we don't need that anymore. So we'll just dissolve that edge. Same with this one. Dissolve the edge and then dissolve the edge. That way we can fill this in. So I'll take this here and we'll just extrude it. Bring it over to this corner. It should be perfect. Almost. I almost had it. So we'll line that up with that, and it should near auto merge. So it auto merged that one there for us because I have my auto merge set on to 0.007. So now we can go ahead and get rid of these two. So we don't need all these edges here. So we'll just dissolve these edges. Just like that. Okay. So now we want to do this archway, which is from here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we want to have a flat top, so I'll just bring my thing in. And we'll add a circle. We can add a cylinder as well, and bring these down to like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 7. And then we'll rotate it. Oops. Let's take whoops, we'll take these guys and rotate it. There. So now, that was not enough. I need 14, not 7. Twice the amount. So let's try that. I'm going to make a separate item. 7, so we'll 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. That looks better. Okay, so let's rotate that again. Okay, that looks good. And we don't need the bottom half, so we'll take these, delete them. And that's basically the shape of the top that we're looking for right there. And then we'll size it a little bit in, and then we'll size it again. So it kind of has a higher arch, not necessarily a circle. It kind of has that high arch. Maybe a little bit, tab more. Like that. Let's size it again. There. Okay, so we want to make sure it's about the same size as that. So bring it down, eyeball it. Should be almost on the money there. Okay. Perfect. Slide it back. Alright, now we just line that up. Line it up with our other one. Whoops. There we go. Alright, that should look pretty darn good. Alright, now we'll just join these two together. Bring it up a bit, about to there, and then take this guy, and then J. I think it's Alt J. I'm sorry, Control J to join. Perfect. We'll fill this in, and we'll fill this one in. And now we should have a basic shape for that. Perfect. Now it's looking kind of like our drawing, where we have the table here, then the arch, and then we'll have the baking part on the bottom. So it's getting there. So I'll need to cut right here, so because I'm going to texture that a different color. So I'll need to go ahead and put one edge loop in there. I'll just make it right down the middle. That way, these faces here, 1, 2, 3, are in a different material. So I'll go ahead and color them a different color now. So I'll make a new material, and then I'll make that one like a little bit darker. And then I'm going to assign. There, just like that. So that assigns the color to those faces. The same with this. The same with this side. So we have way too many. We still have, because of the way I had the geometry from the previous time. I can erase all these here. We don't need these edges here. So this can all go. This one has to stay because that's the one that. Oh shoot. That one has to stay and that one has to stay because it's attached. But this can be textured. We don't have as many faces in our model that are not being used. Now I do want to build this in, so I am going to we'll fill this face in here. But the easiest way to do that is just grab this and hit face, and then we're going to extrude it and then size it. So it'll bring it in, and then we'll extrude it again on Y to bring it in. Not all the way, it doesn't have to go all the way. There, just like that. So now we have that little inset of the counter, like in the drawing there. And then we'll put that shelf in separately. Like that'll just be a different, that might, actually let's go ahead and bring it all the way back to there. And then I'll bring my cursor and we'll just add a cube. Size it about the size we want. Grab it, eyeball it, and then size it on the Z until it looks like a shelf. about there. There. Now we have our shelf. And then up top, we'll just line it up to there, and then we'll have to size it a little bit bigger on the X. That's fine. There we go. There. Now we have our shelf in there, just like our drawing. And we'll put pots and pans or bowls, you know, just some decoration. Again, these these aren't usable crafting stations. This is the crafting station. So when you craft here, as long as you have these in your wagon and they're connected, or just in the wagon, they don't have to be connected, but because you can put one theoretically on this side. But as long as they're in your wagon, this crafting grid here will give you access to the stove and the cooking stuff. So you don't, your character doesn't have to walk over here and cook. Like once you open the main crafting grid, you'll have access to the menu for the food. So you can cook food from here. That makes sense. That way, oh sorry, because as you progress in the game, there'll be a 2-story wagon, like the very last level wagon is 2-story, and you'll be able to put some of these special crafting benches upstairs. But as long as you are accessed here, you'll be able to access those abilities of those crafting tables, as long as they're upgraded to the level that, you know, because as you upgrade your crafting tables, it'll open up a new menu, which, you know, it's on my to-do list, but it'll open up that crafting menu for that particular crafting table, whatever it may be. You know, and there's a lot of them. You know, there's leather working stations, the loom, the fermenter, the jewelry making stands, and the pickling, and the alchemy, and the crystal cutters, and all that good stuff. So there's going to be a lot that you can choose from. So not everyone is going to have the same options, but cooking food is probably going to be one that everybody wants. So that's why you know, you'll need a blacksmith, and you'll need, because by default you'll get these two connected. You'll get the woodworking one, you'll get the metalworking blacksmith one with the crafting table when you start the game. So these are kind of default to every wagon. You can't really change these around. But the other ones and the cooking one is probably your next first one. But you'll be able to move this around if you want. Like you can put this over here. The cooking station is the first one that will be free placed, and you can kind of customize where you want to put it in here on this grid. You know, these squares will hold it. So, and then you'll be able to snap these pipes, like you'll have an exhaust pipe coming up, you know, so you'll be able to like customly snap in some pipes. If you do want to move it over here, you can put that exhaust pipe up, and then, you know, put a 90 degree, another 90, and then up, out, because there's going to be other devices in here, like the fermenter, that need exhaust. When that's what these exhaust pipes here are for, up there in the corner. So you'll be able to customize, and you'll have that a really cool effect of those pipes coming up, and you'll have piping in your you have this piping system going on. Now they'll have 2 piping systems, one for the smoke, and you'll have one for steam when you unlock steam, which is way like level, you know, that's way level 3, level 4 stuff. But then you'll have the ability, you'll have on the opposite side, so this side's where like the smoke goes out, and then you'll have another piping system for steam, and then you'll have the shafts and the gears and the cogs for the wind power. So you'll unlock wind power, so you'll have like a tiny like windmill that'll go up on your wagon. That'll start, I mean, on the outside you'll see it spinning, you know, because of the way the game is designed. Your little model that's on the map will show that you have the wind power turbine on it, but on the inside you'll have just the spinning, like right here or something. There'll be like a spinning like a machine that you can connect into that will allow other devices, like on this row here. So like if you oops, crap. So if you take this and you start placing those machines on this side, like that spinning wheel will come in here where the windmill is on your roof, but it'll come in on this corner of your wagon. Here, I'll just make a quick one here. So like, let's just say this is the shaft that's coming in. Like that shaft there. So this will be spinning. This will be spinning, and that will allow you to connect the gears up here. Like a gear will be, I'll show you. Let's just say that's a gear. There, so like that gear is there. That's why I like mocking up in Blender, because I can just do it really, really quick. So let's just say this is one of the gears right here. So all this is spinning here. See? And that will allow you to connect into that. So like these machines will have some sort of mechanism that allows you to connect this shaft into that gearbox somehow. Like to there. But anyway, there'll be some sort of mechanism here that converts this to where you can connect into this. So that's kind of the idea of making like this modular system in here, where all your crafting stations are modular, but some of them are like, they'll require that movement, or they'll require a smokestack to be installed, or like the steam. Like if you unlock the steam power, like you'll have to have a boiler, and then you'll be able to connect that steam piping, you know, inside. You'll have like pipes coming in here. So like as you grow, as you expand and you unlock new things, like you'll have like all this piping system up here, which will be kind of cool, that you can kind of add and customize as you wish, you know, to however complex you want. So that's another idea, but back to what we were doing. So this is looking the way I want it to look. Ooh, sorry. Might be time for coffee. Alright, let's finish filling in the front of this so we can texture and start texturing. I want that to come in, so I'm gonna grab all these top ones here, these vertices here, and then I'll just extrude them and then size them. Nope, I'm sorry. Extrude and then size like that. There. And then I'll kind of take these down, take them down to there. Same with these. Just about a little less. Those can probably come in there. And then this one too, just see a little bit down. And then we'll size those a little bit. I think that looks good, that's fine. These might need to get widened a little bit. Maybe to there, and then these two. And then these size them out just to there. Like to there. There, looks good. Okay, so now we have that part. And then we can fill in the rest. So now we can, since I need this and this, I will have to put, I think I'm going to have something to separate that. So we can go to here and then go to wireframe mode, and I have to eyeball this where those are. I can see them there. So I'll just edge loop this, bring it over to about there. Edge loop it again, bring it to about there. So that should get us about even with those, but we'll even them up here because they're not going to be even. I eyeballed it. So let's fill that in, and then fill this in. And then I think I'm going to put one more there. Yeah. And then we'll extrude this guy in. Like that. Go about halfway. There, and then that's good. Looks good to me. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. I know there's a quicker way, but I want it to be perfect. Fill that in, perfect. And then we don't need to fill in the back of this part, because you're not going to be able to see it. The way that this will always be against the wall. The only part that you will see is this one here. So we do need to make this filled in, because you will see it from, you might see it from the other side depending on what other thing that you set this next to. So I will fill this in, and then we'll just go down. It should snap. Whoops. There. Okay, it did. Perfect. So now we have a complete model. Again, we don't need to fill that in because it's against the wall. You won't ever see it. No need to texture it and all that if you're not going to see it. So there is that. That looks good. Let me bring the roughness up a little bit. Probably make the color a little brighter too. There we go. And another trick I like to do when I'm modeling, especially if I'm doing it if I'm in material preview, you can go to object and then hit wireframe. So even if I'm not active on it, it'll still show. Like I have that on the floor, so I can see these lines in there. But if I take it off, it looks clean. But I have it just for me for now, just so I can see the squares. I think I deleted some of those too. Let me fix that real quick, because that's been bothering me. Probably messed up the texture, didn't I? There used to be a way to just show the one thing you're working on. There it is. Okay, what material is that taking? It's just stretching it, no wonder. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay, let me do this. Probably an easier way to do that. Where's the script? Okay, now we can go back. Alright, that fixed it. Perfect. Alright, so now we have the floor fixed. Let's go back to this. So I already have that modeled, and now I need to put a texture here because I want that to be like metal with the little dots, like some little circles with this door. So I want to bring this shape back in because I want to keep it consistent. That's why I kept it and didn't delete it. I want to make sure that it stays consistent throughout the project. So I'm going to grab it and bring it back over and kind of eyeball it, center it up where it's supposed to be, like right there about. And then we'll grab it, bring it in here, get it close to the edge, right there. And then we'll just do it we'll do it the hard way. So we'll just take this face and there's a boolean you can do. It'll intersect it, but mixed results. We'll just take the face out here, or X faces. I'm sorry, not dissolve. And then I'll just fill this in by hand real quick. I mean, it's not that big a deal. There's not a lot of vertices. We're dealing with low poly stuff here, so I'll just fill this in by hand. I probably could have put another edge loop right there, but not really necessary. And I could just do this. It's fine. And then I'll take this one here and extrude it back like I had it, like extrude it in there, because that's going to have my fire texture in there. So now I can bring this over just to kind of eyeball it and see how it's going to look. So, that's too far. There we go. That looks good. I like the results. That's the way I wanted it. Okay, and we already have the smokestack, so since this is no longer going to have the smokestack attached, we'll bring it over. It should be the same height, so we shouldn't have to adjust it. Yeah, it looks fine. Maybe a little hair down. There we go. So there's our cooktop, and we'll put a pot on there. That's just like a placeholder. Maybe make that a little bigger. There we go. Alright, so we don't need this isn't going to be connected to that. This pipe will be connected to the top, so now I can bring it over. Kind of center it up with the top there. Make sure we're centered. Just wiggle it until we get it about there. It's fine. And it looks good, so let's bring it up. Grab it on the Z, go up a little bit. And it's okay if it goes into it. I mean, it's not that big a deal. Right there, it's fine. Just want to make sure I got the effect of that. Auto shade smooth. That's kind of the look I want. Same with this. I want to make sure it's shade auto smooth. There we go. Okay, I think that we're close. We just got to do the rack for the pots. These pots and this ladle and this spoon. And then bring the cutting board over. Make sure that's nice and centered on there, about right there. We'll add some cut tomato or something on there just for, you know, decoration later. So that looks pretty darn close to the design that I want. The tool rack, which is like these tool racks are separate, so I'm gonna model that separately. I can even take this and reuse that. You know, if I wanted to, I could just take this and reuse it. That way, but I don't really have to. This is gonna be such an easy thing to model right now. It's gonna look a little thinner than that, so the texture was gonna, even if I did copy and paste it, the texture wouldn't look good. So we'll just add, make that real quick. So add a cube size. Oh shoot, where's my? Bring my cursor over here first. Add a cube size, and then we'll size that a little wider, like that, to there. And then maybe a little thinner. A little thinner this way. That looks good. That looks more like my drawing. So now we can just, I can line this up about to the top of the corner of the table there. Line it to the top corner. And then we'll take that face. We'll go into face select mode. Just grab it on Z. That's about how high I want it. Maybe, yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so let's take that again, and we'll go into wireframe mode for a minute, and we'll duplicate that, bring it over, set it on the edge, and then I'm going to use the same board. It's probably smarter to go ahead and texture it first and then copy it. That way you don't have to texture this all separately. But I'll do that here in a minute. I just want to get it mocked up. So we'll duplicate it, and then we'll rotate it, and then we'll spin it again, and then we'll bring it about up where we want it. There, and then I'm going to make it center. What I can do is I can just grab it on the X, because I want it to hang over a bit, kind of like I did on these. And then we'll just grab that and make that one hang over a bit too. Like, actually, that's a lie, because I don't want to exceed. I don't want to exceed the total width. So let me bring it back over, and I'll bring these ones in instead, like that. There. That way we has that same look that we're looking for there, where it stick out. And then I'll put the pins here, which I have modeled over there already. So we'll come over here and we'll steal these pins. So I'll just take these two, shift, I'm going to duplicate those, bring them over, and then hit P to separate them. So now they're their own item again. And then I'll rotate them. Whoops, let me reset the origin. So I'll reset origin back to the mass of that so I can spin them. And then we'll take these and bring it out a bit. Grab on the X. I know I'm going to have 4 of them, so I need just duplicate this again, and then duplicate it again. So now we have 4 of these pins. There. And we'll bring them up to where we know the board is, which is there. So there. So now we have pins on the board to hang the 2 pots and the ladle and the spoon. So that's done. So we got pretty close to the way that we wanted it to look. So we have the little oven, like it's kind of like a pizza oven, or you can put bread in there, like a stone oven. And the fire will be down here. So we just got to do the texturing, and this will be wood on this side, and then of course this will be the brick on the floor, on the bottom, and then above here. So we'll just have to I can get rid of this now. I don't need it anymore. But now I just need to go back and redo all the seams so I can unwrap this and retexture it, because this model is way more complex than the way it looked before I started. Which I think it looks better. Again, this is like a level 3 a crafting station or cooking station compared to the one that I had before, which was just a level 2, which we can pull the other one up to compare. So there's the level 2, which is that's not even where's the other one here? There, that's the level 2, which I need to retexture it. I'm still not happy with it. So that's what I started with, and that's pretty much what it looks like now. So now I just need to do some texturing, which shouldn't take too long. I just need to make sure we're in edge select mode, and we can start selecting these edges and creating our seams. So mark seam there. Mark that seam. And this one too. I'm going to have to hand do these because it's not letting me select them. That one and then that one. So we'll mark that seam. And then this one here will be its own face too. So we have this square, we have this. This one needs to get marked too. Oops, not sharp, seam. There. So that part's seamed. And then for the top, I'll do separate. So I'm going to mark this bottom part as its own face. So that's a square when it unwraps. And again, we don't have a back. We don't need it because you won't see it. And then I'll probably cut the top. Let's see. It would be smart of me to just mark it a seam here. I think. Let me see. It's up for debate. Yeah, I'll leave that. It's fine. And I already have the seam there. And then we just need to mark. I don't know if I don't think I need to mark the back, but I'll do it anyway, just to be safe. So basically we're outlining what we're going to unwrap for the texturing, and I'm going to leave this top. I'll make this top part its own. Basically this. When I unwrap the texture, I want this piece here because I want to be able to put the brick smaller there, or to line up with the outside, so it looks a little different. Because I think really too, for that to be a smaller brick, I think I want to do like that. But then I want this seam here. So we'll mark that seam as well. So now we have, if you can kind of visualize what this will be, a smaller type of brick, whereas this will be a bigger brick, and then I can put small brick here on the texture. So, and then I'll do the same thing down here because this bottom piece is going to be a brick. So let me mark this seam. So now we have this square on its own, and then I'll do this one as well. So mark seam here, and then mark this one here. There. So now when I unwrap all this, these will all be their own. They'll unwrap in their own area. So, which I can kind of show you real quick as I may unwrap it now. This side won't unwrap correctly because I haven't. But if I hit unwrap now, there. Now I have all my elements of this part. So I can, like, if I come in here and like if I select this archway here, it unwrapped it perfect. See, there it is, sideways, but it's there. Just like this face here, even though they're all triangles. Once if I select all of them, see, there's that triangle. It's sideways, but it's there. So now I need to do the same thing with this thing, with the wood part on this side. So I'll just go back to, this is kind of the tedious part of the UV unwrapping process. So that's already marked. Just got to get that little tiny piece there. Mark scheme again. And then we'll do it here. Get that little piece. There. And then mark seam. There we go. Alright. And then I'll mark this back here. Mark seam. Alright, let me get all this out of the way. Again, put it back over here where it was. Okay, same with this. Move the smokestack over. I don't need it right now. Same with this. Just get everything out of my way. Alright. And this is, since this is a separate object, I'm only gonna have to texture it once. But I'll mark the seam on this as well. So we can mark the seam up here and then mark the seam at the bottom one. So I'll take this face, go back, and then we'll mark the seam. Oh darn it, I keep hitting mark sharp, mark seam. And then on I'll just go ahead and mark all the, because I want them to unwrap separately. There. And then we can unwrap that, and there they are, ends and the edges. So that board is finished. This one should be pretty easy because I already have that texture. I don't think it's that one though. Let me see, maybe see what the other one says. Wood 2 and wood 7. Okay, so it's wood 2. Wood 2, okay. Alright, now let's add our material. And it's actually going to be wood. What's the material though? Hang on. See, I didn't name it. That's bad. That's just a bad. I need to call this wood. I call it wood 2. No, actually call it tool shelf wood. So now we actually have a proper name for it. And I don't think anything on here uses material 2. I should just delete that. Yeah, nothing was using it. Okay, so now that we know what that's called, I can come here instead of material 9, I can call it tool shelf wood. There, and now it automatically assigns it to it. So now it looks good. It's unwrapped. Looks pretty. So now we can take this again, and I can duplicate it, bring it over. I'm going to rotate it just so it doesn't look the same. You can also go in here, and you can actually just grab these and like move it over on the texture. So it ought to give you variation as well. See, then I went too far. Oops. So grab X, and then I'll just like move it until it looks pretty, like right there. See, that looks fine. And then we'll take it again, and we'll shift duplicate, and then we'll rotate, and then we'll rotate it again like we did before. Oops. Rotate it again, and then bring it up here for those pins to hold on to there. Bring it here, about there, and then size X, make it a little wider. I want them to stick out on each side a little bit. The back does not so much, you won't really see it, but the front one you will. Like that. And you can even go in, like maybe if that, see, because it didn't unwrap it correctly, so I'll have to like squeeze it in. I might have squeezed it the wrong way. Yeah, that's the correct. And then I'll just like bring it over here so it has a little bit better, some detail to it. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty. Oh, even actually would probably look better. Sorry. It's actually make it darker, so I can like move it over to a dark spot here. Yeah, that one looks better. Okay, cool. We'll leave that. So now that the tool shelf is textured and done, the hard part will be getting this part textured. So now that I've got it all, well, not completely done, I still need to mark this seam here. So to take this one here Mark seam, and then the same with this wood in here. I want to mark all these seams here, this and this. Just the more practice you get doing this, the more you understand how it's going to unwrap, and how marking these is just going to help you overall, especially when you're trying to texture it. And then the last, like, again, so this piece here, let me go into wireframe mode. I don't need to texture it the whole thing. You're not going to be able to see, you won't see this backboard back here at all. So there's no need to have it in the game. So let's just delete it. So just delete the face there. Same with this one back here. Same with the bottom board. You're never going to get in a position where you're going to see that. So why texture it? Same with this one. You should end up with just this and this. I'm sorry, this one and this one, which is all you can see. You can't see the rest. So why put it? Why put the geometry in the game if you can't see it anyway? So we'll leave it there, and we'll unwrap this thing. Okay, where did this come? This is the, oh, that's the inside. Okay, I didn't mark. See, it tells you all this looks so pretty except this right here. That's because that's this inside. I forgot to mark the seam inside there. Let's see, because it's not marked. So let me mark this bottom piece, because I want that to be its own texture. And then the same with this arch back here. I'm gonna mark that seam. There we go. So now it'll unwrap that the way I want it. So now let's unwrap it again. Now it looks pretty. Now the geometry's there. See how pretty that is? That's perfect. Now I can take this into Photoshop, and I can basically copy and paste the textures that I want for all of these elements. You know, once I kind of like to go through, and I'll start selecting to see where these ended up, like those. See, like that's that part there. And then the same with this. See, that one's down there. So those and those are pretty much the same. And then like there's the top of that, and then the wood. You can make a texture, like one texture, which would be smarter for me to do, is just make one texture for this model, so it's only having to talk to the one texture when it's trying to render it out, instead of going to like using multiple files to texture this, which is why we do this, why we unwrap it. That's why we put the seams and we make it unwrap so pretty, so we can get this map here, this. And if you've played Minecraft, you try to add in like better looking textures. For example, like the default one, like the texture map on a Minecraft game, which I can bring that up just for, just to show an example of what we're dealing with here. Watch, if you go to Minecraft texture map, this is what the Minecraft texture map looks like. So it looks like this here. So that's why it looks so pixelated, because it's pixel graphics, and they make one sheet. So when they create a grass block, they specify that texture is this. This is the top of the grass, and then here's the side of the grass, or a wood block or a stone, whatever block it is. They make a texture map, which is what we're doing. It's one map, and the whole game goes and refers back to this map for whatever it is that they're doing. We're doing the exact same thing And if you go to Minecraft, you go to like high def texture map, then it'll bring you like these guys who make these high def maps, and they're larger files, but the look of that's why the look looks better, because it's not such a tiny neck here. So I'll just zoom in into this one. So like somebody made this one that you can download, and it just has higher quality like doors, and the grass looks different. Like the wood might look different. And when you download a texture pack to make your game look better, all they're doing is just making this image bigger to add more detail, because you can only fit so many pixels within that little box there, like especially with pixel art. But the higher resolution that you make it, say for instance these, like this looks like, you know, vector art instead of pixel art, whereas like pixels is like a per dot, like little dots on there, which is what Minecraft is. But somebody made like a higher resolution with a bigger image, but it'll slow your game down, especially if you're doing something like, you know, like this. This is extremely high def. And so I've seen some people make like, there's even texture packs that are like super hyper realistic even, that like I don't even know if my computer could run them. But that's basically the same thing we're doing here. Like you could go in and get that map. Like you can take this map here, like these. And this is a 256 by 256. Let's see if there's a bigger one. These are all 256s. There's a big one. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm talking about. So this is a 1200 by 1200. This is even a higher def texture pack you can get. So you can save. You can take this here. So I'll save this. I'll just show you as an example, since this is just a stream anyway. We're just messing around. So we'll just go. I'll save it in here. So we'll just save that. And let's just, for giggles, say I wanted to use that texture map in my game. I can take this face here, that face, and I can add it. I can add it as a texture from my game. And I can take, let's say I wanted to make that look like the furnace in Minecraft. Which, let me find the furnace. I know it's in here. Furnace. There it is. There's the furnace right there. So I can take my model, my game, find the furnace texture in this Minecraft map, and I can set it in here and size it to fit that texture map. I might need to go to Edge. Actually, I might need to go to here, right? Yeah, let me make it a little bigger. There. So now in my game, let me add it to the node here. So in my game, I can say, well, you know what? I'm going to use that. Whoops. I'm going to use that Minecraft texture here. So it assigned it to the whole thing, but like as you can see, just this face here is the side of that furnace. And let's just say, like, if even for more giggles, like I wanted to make this part here, this face. Here, let me select the face of the front. Like I wanted to make that part the front of the Minecraft furnace. Sorry, not this part. Actually, yeah, I'll do it real quick. I'm just messing around anyway. Look, I could take this. I'm going to unwrap that and project from view. There, and then take it and size it. So I'll take that piece and put it as the front of the Minecraft. See, that's basically what texture mapping does and what they do in Minecraft. That's pretty much it right there. There. See, now I have a Minecraft furnace in my game, because I took the texture pack that they use, the texture map, and just say that these faces here, this face here, corresponds to this part of the texture map. So like I can take this and I can say, oh, maybe I want to make it a pumpkin on the side. So I can just move it down here to the pumpkin. And now in my game, instead of it looking like a furnace, it's basically the pumpkin from Minecraft. And that's how Minecraft works. So that's how texture mapping works in a nutshell. But I don't want to do any of that because this is, this is my game and I'm making my own texture. So I'm going to undo all this stuff that I just did. Go back to here. Get rid of this because I don't want to use it. There. So there's my texture map. Let me unwrap this one more time. There. That fixes it. So now I have my texture map here. And I'm going to export that. I'm going to go to UV and export the UV layout. I did this in another video. I mean, it kind of like explains better what this does. So I'm going to export that. I'll put it in textures. And this is just called the smelter small UV. That's what that is. So smelter small UV. And it's going to be 1024 by 1024. It's pretty big, which is fine for now. We'll just export that. So now I have a file, so I can go to Photoshop. I can open that, then textures. So it's smelter small UV, which is down here somewhere. There it is, smelter small UV. So here's my texture map. And I am going to fill that in with just black color. That's not even black. There. So you can now you can see how I'm gonna texture this, and it's pretty easy once I've downloaded some textures already. The way I want it to look, which is this one here. And I got this off of the open. I'll show you because I always like to plug them if I can. On opengameart.com or .org. I'm sorry, opengameart.org. So you can come here and you can get free textures at community models. There's all kind of stuff they have in here. I mean, you can submit. They have 3D models that you can download. If you just like what I'm doing, if you just want to mock up some stuff, like people upload in here. Different models and things that you can drag and drop especially if you're doing like what I'm doing and you're just kind of trying to mock up a game. There's some cool props there for medieval props, all kind of cool. They have everything. I mean, if you search, it's probably there, and it's all free. It's all community based. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this texture. It's a little dark. Why don't we make it a little lighter? Let me brighten that up just a hair. Out of there. Okay. So I'll take this and I'll go back into mine and I'll paste it in, and then I can resize it. A little bit, like maybe actually I want to resize it. Resize. I want to go to transform, resize, scale. And then I'll bring it down 50% on each side. That way it's consistent. Okay. So now I can take this, and I know this is the top of my furnace. So I'm going to rotate it, because the brick should be this way. And I'll set that right on the corner of the furnace there. Right there. It's about where the corner of the furnace is. And that still might be too big of a brick. Let me freehand it. We'll see what happens. Until I get the look that I think about right there. That should look good right there. So now that we have that, I can come in and I can clip out what I don't want. So this part, I'm going to delete it, And then over here, the same thing. I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to put it on the other side of the furnace, which is right here. I believe it's this one here. Yeah, but I need to rotate it. No, I don't want to type. Oh, sorry. You rotate it. There. And then I'll just stretch it a bit to there. Enter. Alright, now let's test it and see how it looks before we get too far ahead. So I'll test that first, save for web devices. I'm going to leave it that size, a big size. Put it in my textures folder. Whoops. And then it's just smelter small, and then I'm going to call it smelter small texture. And we'll go back to Blender, and then I'm going to load that image, open. It's in my textures folder, and there it is. And then when I add it to the material here, I'm going to add that. Make sure the colors, and then it should be in here. So it's called smelter small texture right here. There. So now I can see if that texture lines up the way I want it. Right there. And it looks pretty good. I mean, it's a game, and again, this is still an early version of the game, so we're not getting too crazy on making it so pretty. I want it to be pretty, but that's pretty darn good. I like that. And the rest is black because all this is black. So we're going to start filling that in as we go. Because the next thing I probably do, I'm going to put this side here in, so we can kind of see where that is on our texture map. So it's the one that sits between those two. It's going to be that wall, and as you can see, it's in the same orientation as that is, plus this bottom piece. Yeah, so it's correct. So we can put the bricks this way. So let's go back to Photoshop. Let's go back to our stone. And then let's go and we'll paste that back in. And then we'll size it to kind of match this one. So let me rotate it, and then we're just going to have to eyeball it. There. Make sure that those stones line up. There, and then we'll make sure that these line up here. Okay, retransform, and I might have it the wrong rotation. Let me rotate it this way. Yep, I did. There we go. That looks pretty darn close. Okay, we'll leave that. Okay, so now let me bring my cover back up, and then since we know it's going to be there, let me rotate it again. Transfer and rotate. I'll put the big bricks on the bottom, like that. So I want the big bricks on the bottom corner of that. Leave it there, and then since that's on its own layer, I can highlight all this and then delete what I don't need for that. So I'm going to highlight and delete. Now look at this. Kind of looks funky because the bricks cut off here. So what I'll do is I'll hit free transform and just stretch it. And that may mess up the top, but it's alright. We can cover it with something. So let's take that, and then we'll just delete that. Alright, so now let's do another test. Save it again. I'm going to set this by, hang on, sort by date. There. And then we can come back to Blender, and all we got to do is go to Image Reload. There it is. So it kind of looks funky because it cut off that brick. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut that off too. we'll stretch that out. So we'll take, no, not text. I don't want to do text. We'll take this part again. Oops. And then we'll stretch the brick to there. And then we'll cut off that little piece that we don't need right there. There. Now that should look better. Replace. Reload. And that should fix that. There we go. I'm happy with that. That looks great. Alright, so moving along. This is coming out great. So now the hard part I think is going to be getting this arch done here. This right here with bricks, but I'm just gonna have to cut them individually and paste them in one by one, which is right here. So let me go back to my main picture here, and I'm gonna steal this piece here. No, maybe something a little thinner. Maybe this one. So I'll steal this piece here. And then we can start pasting it in here. So we'll shrink it down quite a bit, just to be about the same width. See, so this is still too wide. Make it a little smaller. So that's about the width of the design right there. So let's start. We'll start. I'm gonna rotate it. Like, come on. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it. Okay, so there's the first part, and then I'm gonna take the next piece and I'm gonna cut it there. And then we'll rotate it on that next angle, which is right there. I went a little too far. About there, yeah. And then move it up on this spot where it's supposed to be. There, too far. Okay, there. That looks good. Now I'm gonna cut it. I'll use the lasso tool, and I'm gonna go from here to here and take this piece, and then rotate that again on that axis. So we see what we're trying to do is match it on that black line there. And to there, that should look good. Okay, perfect. And we'll clean that up here in a minute. See where it overlapped, but that's fine. And then we'll do this. We'll do the same thing here. We'll take the lasso tool. Oops. Cut out that piece, and I'm just going to delete that because it's not really enough to use. So let's hide that and see what we got. So what we can do now is we can take the rubber stamp tool and we can come in and just pick up color and start blending that back in, especially here where it overlapped. So we'll get rid of all that. That way it looks like one brick again. Just like that, and then same thing over here. We'll take the rubber stamp and we'll just kind of make all that look pretty. Now let's check let's test it before we get too far along. So let's go ahead and save it. Yes, and then we'll come in here and then we'll reload this texture. There, that looks great. Probably need a little bit fix that piece right there, but otherwise I'm happy with it. We can use a rubber stamp tool to fix that. Again, we just go back. See, that's that part right there. So let's take it and we'll just come in and we'll brush in and fill it in a bit like that. Same thing here. Fill it in a little bit more. There we go. And then fill that back in. I messed that up. Okay, so let's save that. And then reload that image. I think I forgot to hit save. Save for web, sorry. Okay. No, I saved it as a wrong file. That's what happened. Oh no. My bad. That's the wrong file. Delete that. It's this one. Okay, now I can hit reload. Did it not take my change? What happened? It still has that little... Oh, I fixed the wrong part. No wonder. That's that piece I'm looking at. Yeah, I'll fill that in a little more. There we go. Same here. Kind of bring that up a bit. There we go. All right, now that should fill in a little better. I don't have to be that nitpicky with it. Just, you know, I'm just kind of showing as an example. So now if I go to image reload, there, see how it fixed it. Now that little chunk that looks like it was missing is there. There. So, yeah, that looks good. And I can go through. Really, the smart thing for me to do is to take this part out of that texture map, maybe, and leave this inner part on the texture map. Like, take these out. Take that out completely. When these part here down here too, because it's getting kind of tight, to be honest. And the way you do that is you just come over here and create a new material for it, and then assign that new material and make a new material for it. Unless you have a texture like I do. So like I want it to be this texture here, which is material.3, which I need to call this like crafting tabletop. Like that. And then come back over here. Whoops. And then on this one, this material, instead of using material 1, call it crafting tabletop. Which it should be up top. There, crafting tabletop. So now it's going to assign that material to it. Which is using wood 7. Not wood 2, wood 7. There, so now I can come in and resize this. Oh, I have it set to... Oh, it's fine. Maybe the wrong rotate. Let me turn that off. I got constrained image bounds. Let me rotate that. I think that's the way I want it. Whoops. See how where that top is there. There we go. Same with this one here. I think I just need to like redo that by hand. Just do this and go to project from you. There it goes. Like that. And this side doesn't need a lot of work, but I can fix that. Bring it back in. There we go. That looks good. Can always make the countertop different too. I mean, again, this is just a quick. I don't know. Maybe even making this part over here brick again. Like. Do I have the brick? Yeah, stone one. Let me make a new material for it. And go. I don't really have a material, do I? Stone one, there it is. And a sign, there it goes. That's not bad. Maybe make it, maybe change the size. Or just leave it like that. That might be fine. No, it needs to go this way. Yeah, like that. There we go. Oh, come on. Okay, grab. Put it like right there. That looks good. Maybe this edge needs to be more on like right there. That looks good. I missed a piece here. I did. I'll fix it in a minute. So that should fit. I'll make sure this, when we bring this back over, see it should fit only on the brick part. Kind of like that, like a cooktop. Maybe centered on it, like there. Like right there. And then move this where it's on the center too. Basically you only have room for one pot while you're cooking. At least for the animation purposes. Yeah, that looks good. We'll leave that. And the same with all this stuff down here. I think I just want to make this separate. Even this. Put it at a crafting tabletop, a sign. There it goes. And then I can adjust these separately. Wood 7. There we go. And then same with this. This one you won't even see. I could have deleted that. This could be deleted too. I don't think you'll ever be in a position. It doesn't really. I'll leave it. It's fine. And then this one too. There. And then this one needs to be to the bottom like that. So it has that little edge on the design. That looks good. I'm happy with that. Now just need variation here. See that right there? So I'll just rotate it. Just rotate it like that. And this one too. This one. I'll move it over to this side. There we go. And then this one too, I'll take this, this and rotate it. It needs to be probably like that. There we go. That looks great. I like that. And then here, like I said, we're going to have, this can just be the stone. So we'll assign that and then give it the biggest, and I want to rotate it. Oops. Like that. That's the effect I want, and I think that came out great. Same with this one here. We can reassign this and this, this and this to stone 1. And then this one will be a little different. No, just project from view. And then we'll resize it big. Oops. Bring it down here and then size it. And we should be able to match the brick. Actually, I'm on the wrong side. I need to rotate it this way. We should be able to match it to the side here, so those lines should line up perfect like that. See that? Pretty close. Let me get the other. Oh, it's on the other side. No wonder. Let me take this and just grab it and move it over here, like that. Whoops. Make sure. Yeah. See, these aren't all the way up. Take that edge, move it all the way to the top. Same thing down here. I'm sure it's not touching. There. Okay. And it still looks off. Is it upside down? Yes, it is. Flip it and it fix it. There you go. So that's that. And then we can do the same thing down here. We can take this edge. And then bring this down. And then it should be the bottom one. No? Top one. Where it needs to be rotated. There. So we'll put it up here. Like that. Still off. Why? So that's that side, that's that side. Oh, no wonder I went too far. I think what I want to do is bring this not be so high. I want to do that. There it goes, that looks better. And then messed up this one because I made it smaller. So we'll just shrink that until that lines up again. There we go. That looks perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Save. I'll deal with this arch in a little bit. It's just a pain in the butt. So now that we got that, we can come and I think I'm going to assign this inside part 2 there. I'm going to assign that to stone 1 as well, just to save time. Assign. And then grab. We'll make it a little bigger. Let me constrain proportions back. There we go. That looks good. I'll leave that. And then of course the bottom, we'll assign that to stone 1 as well. So doing that UV map, it maybe isn't always the quickest way to do it. sometimes just throwing it and freehanding these like I'm doing here, it's a little quicker. I mean, everybody works a little, it has their own workflow, so. But that's the effect that I'm going for right there. Like especially, like this back one should be real easy because all I got to do is just project from view and reassign it to stone 1, and then it gives me the the effect that I'm looking for with that stone. And just make sure the bottom lines up there, and then the top doesn't go too far. I don't want to add another layer of stone, but that's good right there. See that? That's perfect. The only thing I can't really do that with is this arch, because I want those to be inlaid, and then this piece here too. I want it to be smaller brick. It doesn't even have to be brick. I can actually just put another texture there of a different color brick, even. You know. But it's really up to you, whoever when you're working on designs. Like this part here, what I should have did was make that more straight. So easy trick is just take all these guys and size it on Z, on the Z axis, and that'll make it more square. There. So I can take these faces here, and then I can assign that to stone 1. And then I'll unwrap it again, project from view, and then I'll just size it until on just one side of these bricks here, like this. Look, size. There, and then since that's too far, I'll just take this and move it over until it hits the edge. There. That looks fine to me. I could make it line up with that brick, would be smarter. So then that one brick's there. We can do that. So we can take this and then highlight that, and then go back and only pick this piece. No, not you. You and you. Okay, and then grab it and line it up with that piece. So we're still too big. Let me bring it down. I think that's not the right side. Or it's upside down, one of the two. There we go. Yeah, if we I can't go over there because then that's going to be a different brick. I wanted to copy the brick that's there, which is there. So that, and then I'll need to readjust this one because it's going a little too far. Grab that edge, grab Y, stretch it a bit. Same with this one. Grab Y. That's fine, it's this one. Grab Y until it doesn't. There you go. Now that looks better. I don't like that, but we can fix that easy. Now that we have it lined up, we can take all this and move it. Just find it. There we go. That looks better. Leave it. That is perfect. Okay, now according to my drawing, this should be brick as well, so I'll reassign that to stone 1. And then same with this side here. I think if I take this and I do the same thing, constrain proportions again to bounds, and then take that edge. there. There, that should line them up. But I don't want it there, so let's take this one and this one again, and we'll just slide it over until we find it where we find a spot that looks pretty. I think that we need to. I think I need to take one of these. Let's see, this one. Do that. Yeah. And now we can find somewhere that looks pretty. That's got too much going on. Maybe we'll take this, do this, so it overlaps. There you go. That's what we need to do. Now we'll find somewhere that's pretty. There. Looks good. That's kind of the effect I'm going for. I seem to do the same thing over here, so that looks a little better. Just shrink it, and then throw it where the bricks line up, like there. That looks good. I'm happy with that. The only thing is this texture. I think I lightened. I stone 1 might need to be reloaded, right? No, because I made it brighter. Yeah, this is the one I brightened up first. So let me save this because it was too dark. Now let me reload it. No? Stone 1 PNG. I should have brightened it up. Oh, there it goes. I had to select it first. Yeah, there it goes. Now it's a little brighter. It was kind of gloomy. I like that. That looks better. And for the face of this thing, I think I'm just going to go real... I don't want to overcomplicate it. I want it to look good, but I don't want it to be overcomplicated either. So for this one, and I believe this, and this, we'll remove that material. Shit, no. I'm sorry. Make a new material. And then we'll assign it to that material. But that material is going to be cooking spot, maybe? Or black metal. Black metal. There. That's fine for now. And then this picture back here in the back is going to be the fire. So we'll make a new material for that. And I think I already have fire here. And then assign. And then project from view, and then we'll set that to the fire texture. There we go. There, that looks good. I don't want it to be shiny there. That looks amazing. I'm going to remove the wireframe because I don't want it anymore. Only thing I have left really is this arch, but let's just do it crazy like that, and then I'll just, instead of using that custom texture map, because right now I'm trying to get this finished. So let's do stone 1, and then back on materials, tell it to use stone 1 there. I'll just move it around till it looks pretty, kind of pretty-ish. I'll fix it later, or I won't. You know, or can always make it a different material. It doesn't have to be stone, because just because we're dealing with this arch, we can always tell it to be black metal and leave it like that, because that looks fine too. I'm okay with that for now, you know, and then we can bring this back over, put the grate back on. I think I'm going to do that and just leave it because this is taking longer than I thought. I want to assign these. I'm going to parent this, so Control P. That way when I grab one of them, it'll take the whole thing. We'll bring our cutting board back over. And then our smokestack. There we go. I just need to do the spoons. I don't know if I downloaded like one of those asset packs. Let me see if there's spoons and stuff in there. Under assets, those are called medieval props. Now those are bigger props. The other one was like tools. Where did I put that at? Those are trees, shrubs, dungeon stuff, dungeon pack, roofs, wooden. Where did I put that stupid? I could have swore I saved it in assets. Oh, you know what? I think it's no. Rock pack, posting signs, alphabet, wooden textures, dungeon kit, shrubs, medieval props. Nope, that's the same one. And now I'm confused of where I even saved that stupid thing. Maybe it's in my download still. Treasure, low poly tools. Yeah, but where did I? Oh, it's in my downloads. No wonder. Let me take these over. Cut. No wonder I couldn't find them. Let's see what's in here. Okay, we got axes, bucket, chisels. There's a fork. No, I need a spoon. No spoon. Screwdriver, shovel, wrench, planer. Yeah, things I need aren't in there. I might just have to model them if I can't find them on here. Let me look first. You type, not spawn, spoon. Okay, so we have a spoon here. Let me see if there's something. Oh, here we go. Oh, well, we have a little tiny spoon. It's not really what I'm looking for. 60 plus inventory items. I see a ladle in there. Not that that would be hard to model. I see pliers in there. Some cool stuff. There's some bread, and I might be able to. I can use some of this stuff to decorate. I think I might take this. There's a pan there. There's a butcher's knife. Some cool stuff in that pack. Who made this? Doesn't say. Oh, there it is. Sand Sound. Cool. 2023. So quite a long ago. This is cool. Let's take this. We'll download this guy. It's a blend file too, so we can just append the stuff. Let me take it for my downloads, and we'll move it over to the. We'll move it over to the folder. I don't know. I thought I had a shortcut for this project here. Let me put it back. If I don't, put it back. Wagon Path here. Wagon Path here. Is Wagon Path in there already? What the hell? Pin to quick access. There it is. Wagon Path. Okay. So now I have it in my assets folder. So we should be able to go to Blender now and just append it into the file. So file. Hopefully they named them all correctly. If not, I'm gonna let me save this first. Hopefully they named everything good. So assets, and then there it is. No, it's rocks. Didn't I paste it in here already? Pots and pans. Oh, there it is. Pots and pans right here. So objects. See, they didn't label. They didn't label anything correctly. There's a lamp, circle camera. I don't see anything else in there. So what we'll do is we'll take everything. Large pot lid. No, that ain't right. That's not right. I put it here. It's called inventory items. I'm a doofus. Cut. It's supposed to be in assets, not the main folder. Paste. Wait, let's go back. Let's do a do-over on that. So assets, and then it's called inventory items right here. Okay. It's the other one that didn't name them correctly. Cool, look, this is named, everything's named, so I can kind of come and pick what I need. Oh, this is cool. I want the ladle for sure. I think I can control click. I'll take the, no, I don't want the cup. I'll take the spoon. The frying pan for sure. I don't think I want the bucket. Anyway, I pinned all that into our file. And then we'll grab them, bring them over here so I can see them. Cool. So now we have a little spoon. There's the ladle and a pan. That's kind of neat. That's less stuff I need to make. So let's take all this and we'll bring it up to our kitchen. I mean, I can model this stuff, but it's kind of, it's, again, we're really just trying to make the scene as quickly as possible. Just to get a feel for what the game's going to look like. So we'll take this ladle too. I'm going to put the ladle, actually hang the ladle up. So rotate it. Maybe make it a little bigger. And then rotate it again. Like that. And then we'll hang it on this hook. There we go. So now we have like a ladle up there. The spoon can go on the table. And then the pan down a little lower too. Or we can hang the pan. I think I was going to put a pot there. Let's just hang it. So let's rotate it. And then rotate it again. And then we'll just act like it's on a hook. There. We'll fix that later. Make it a little bigger too. Bam, that looks good. Kind of gives the effect that we're looking for. Save. So, what the heck, I added a cube without knowing it? Okay, what we can do now is take all this. That's probably too tall. Still too tall. That's good. Take all this now, and we can put it back in our setup. There. Beautiful. It's kind of a weird when it does that. I like it better doing the straight ortho look. Dude, that looks great. That came out. That looks way better than what was there. I might change this wood. I'm not 100% on this texture. But for now, we'll leave it. I might go with something a little darker. It's not so... Because it's supposed to be a higher level. This is like a level 3 cooking station. It should be made with better wood, to be honest. Like oak. Like a really nice oak or something. But there's something I can mess with later. Right now, the fact that it's textured, this can't be there either. Shit. There, that looks better. Might just have to remove that whole board. That, or I might recess these in more into the wall to where they're not sticking out so much. It might be a better idea to do that. And leave the top ones where they are, but these side supports, make them look like they're more part of the frame of the thing and not sticking into the frame. Like if I just push them back and just have them barely sticking out like that. Yeah, that looks better. I like that. We can do some more stylized stuff with these. That one's missing a whole... Oops. No. Maybe take... let's see. Let me take this guy, put it over here, where I replaced the one I messed up. But I think we can do a little bit more styling, because I have a slight angle on them right now. Maybe move them out a little more, like that. That way it's not so square. That looks better. Well, even the tiniest a little, and this window needs to get moved over to there. Or better yet, that window should be over here by the bed. Maybe. No, because that's you're gonna decorate over there. I think the window's fine there. Like a window out looking outside your kitchen. I think that's fine. We'll leave it. Alright, that's coming along. That looks good. I'm happy with it. I will probably end the stream here. I need to go get me some coffee. And I might be back. I might not. But thank you. If you did watch, I do appreciate it. I'll be back.